Now,
James believes keeping a close watch on his spending helps him resist temptation. By tracking spending in the Wells Fargo mobile app, James wins again.
okay, let's get baking. Okay. Baby oven. Oven. We have our pans. Start beating our egg whites. Hello. So I'm just getting started. I'm gonna make the meringue now for our cake base. Let me turn this down so I'm not yelling. So right now we're gonna mix our, hello. We're gonna mix our egg whites to start making the meringue base for our cake. So we have 95. Oh no, I don't have enough egg whites. I mismeasured. See, I'm glad I caught that. We gotta measure these egg whites again. I think I was looking at the number for the egg yolks, which was 135. And the egg whites were actually 195 grams, but thankfully I have egg whites in a carton. These are egg whites from a shell. So let me remeasure. See, you gotta make sure. Measure twice, cut once. Measure twice, bake once. So let's remeasure our egg whites and make sure that I have it right. Because I suspect I ADHD got that backwards. So we have, yes, I did. I was looking at the yolk number. Okay, perfect. I'm glad I caught that because that would have completely ruined the cake. So we have 131 grams of egg whites and we need 195. So thankfully I have egg whites in a carton. Hello, thank you for saying hi. Happy Saturday or Sunday, depending on wherever you are in the world. Thanks for hanging out with me. 195. See, this is why I tried to measure all this out ahead of time, because once I go live, I get distracted and it's really easy to make a mistake. But thankfully, we caught this. So 195. 195 is our target, and we still have a tiny bit left in there, so we're going to go ahead and put this back in our mixing bowl. So now we have the correct amount of the egg whites. Today I'm making a cloud cake. So this week I had 2 birthdays in my circle. My personal trainer had a birthday this week, and my best friend had a birthday this week. And so I made, my best friend has specific dietary needs. And so I made a cloud cake with Greek yogurt frosting for him. And I have leftover frosting from yesterday, right? Yes. I have leftover frosting from yesterday, so I figured I would... I need to practice this cake. It's not a cake I'm like super comfortable with. And so I figured since I have the leftover frosting, I'd make another small cake today, share it with my friends, and get some practice in. And I figured I would add it to the Baking for My Future Boyfriend series. So welcome to Baking for My Future Boyfriend. Today we're making strawberry cloud cake. So right now, so part of what it is that when I made it for my best friend, he needs a diet that is sensitive to gallbladder issues. So it's basically a very low fat baked treat. So I count it as somewhat healthy. So I'm adding it to the Baking for My Future Boyfriend. All right, so we have 195 grams of, thank you, Kaden, I'll see you soon. Thanks for hanging out. Go have a good day. Okay, so we have 195 grams. We have our balloon whisk, and we have cream of tartar that we're gonna add to our egg whites, and then a pinch of salt. So this is my little salt bowl, so we take a pinch, we drop it in. And now we're gonna lower the neck of our mixer in, and we're gonna bring it up to speed slowly. So part of what we're trying to achieve here is building air into our egg whites, because that's where the structure and the lift of our cake is gonna come from. But we don't wanna break those bubbles. We wanna slowly build it. So as you can see, I'm gonna tilt the camera so that you can see the magic happen. So you're gonna see these like somewhat, you know, kind of snotty egg whites turn into fluffy white bubbles in a short amount of time. So first we go to 1, and we started out at a 1 speed, and this is a Cuisinart mixer. So a Cuisinart mixer is gonna have numbers on the speed, and the KitchenAid, if I'm not mistaken, is like more of like a slow, medium, high kind of setting. So here we start at a 1, then we take it up to a 2. And you'll slowly, in your bowl, you'll start to see little bubbles forming on the edges of your egg whites. And so we bump it up to 3. And you're gonna see more formations. It starts to look almost like sea foam. Like imagine like what sea foam bubbles look like in the ocean. It starts to look like little tiny patches of sea foam bubbles. And now we're gonna go from 3 to 4. And it slowly starts to change color too. You go from, like, even though they're egg whites, they still have like a little bit of a yellow tint to them. Over time, you're gonna start seeing this get lighter and lighter, and more bubbles, and then eventually we're gonna have like a sea of white foam. So we're gonna bump this up to 5. And right now the mixer's doing most of the work. Oh no. All right, now our edges have more and more, see, I think you can see it from the camera. See how the edge all around now, we have bubbles, not just patches. It's now around the edge of our egg white. And we're gonna take it from 5 to 6. And now you're gonna start seeing the foam that's on the edges start to come into the middle. And it starts to like slowly become more and more just foam, like sea foam. But it comes in from the edges. It comes like, it starts on the outside edge and then it comes in. Because you wanna look, you wanna keep an eye on your egg whites, because this is, it goes quick. Like the magic happens quick, it's science. So now, you're starting to see the swirl pattern being left behind from the balloon whisk. It starts to look like a star inside the foam. And the foam is closing in more and more and more. It's like a horror movie. Ooh, I could make a horror movie. The foam. So now as you can see, it's really just the inside of the whisk that looks like egg whites, and our foam is coming more and more closer to the balloon whisk, coming in more and more, little by little. Now I'm gonna go from 6 to 7. So right now, we're at frothy stage. We're gonna slowly start adding our sugar in now. One spoonful at a time. And we're gonna add our sugar and we're gonna keep beating until we get to medium stiff peaks. And I'll show you the visual cues for that. All right. So now, as you can see, we've gone from egg whites to beautiful white foam. Now, I'll bring this up a little bit again so you can see me. So we're gonna slowly bring this down. And it looks glossy. It looks very glossy. And I can see the trails being left behind from the balloon whisk. It's another good visual marker. And we bring it down slowly because, again, we're trying to keep the air. We don't want to lose the air that we're building. So I picked up the balloon whisk and it just completely dripped off and only like a tiny peak was left behind. So we got to keep kneading. So we're going to bring our balloon whisk down and we're going to slowly bring it back up to speed. So now we're at 8 speed. And you want to keep an eye on it. I'm seeing more definition in the swirls left behind by the balloon whisk. We're going to take another look again. We're going to bring it down again slowly. It's like a plane. Like you can't just shoot a plane up and bring a plane down quick. You got to gradually bring the plane up and gradually bring the plane down. So now, a little bit more is left on the tip of my balloon whisk. And there's a little bit of a peak down there. We're going for medium stiff, and I would call this soft. So we're gonna beat it for a tiny bit more. So again, slowly bring the plane back up. Yeah, it's a process for sure, but it's worth it. It's like most good things, you know? It takes time. But this, you know, honestly, one second, I'll tell you in 1 second. One thing this baking journey has done for me is give me a new appreciation for people that make specialty cakes and like custom cakes, especially like as a business, because this is not easy work. And like one wrong step and you have a batch that's like completely ruined and you have to start all over again. And then with cakes, especially decorated cakes, you have to do sometimes stuff like this that's like very involved. And then you have to bake the cake. Then you have to let the cake cool down outside of the fridge. Then you got to put it in the fridge. And then only once it's been cooled down just enough, then can you do the crumb coat. And this is if you're doing fancy cakes. Like I don't even do that fancy. Especially this one that I'm doing, it's like, it doesn't do a crumb coat. We do like just a very basic frosting pattern. But shout out to like, hi, hello beans. Shout out to anybody that does cakes on the regular. And that's why they charge so much. Like, that's why they're so expensive, because they're very labor intensive and they take a long time, and ingredients are so expensive now. I'm in the process of starting a micro bakery, but cakes are only going to be by special order, and like I have to approve the order. Like, I'm not going to be doing cakes on the regular. I like doing things like, I mean, I like a pound cake. I love a pound cake because a pound cake is very forgiving. But something like a chiffon or a cloud cake or an angel food cake like I'm doing now, you have to take your time. You have to be very diligent. You have to be very intentional. But here, we've reached our goal. So now, as you can see, we have like a soft peak on our balloon whisk and at the bottom of our bowl. So we've reached our medium stiff peak point. And now is when we add our egg yolks. And I realized yesterday after the fact that I had done this part of the process yesterday, like this was a pound cake. So when you do a pound cake, you add, oh, nice beans. What did you get at the antique store? I need to go, that's one of the things I need to do this weekend, is go to the furniture store. I need to start shopping for a new sofa, but I want to see it in person. Like, I want to be able to like sit on it and like try it out, make sure that it's comfortable. Because for years, I've had a hand-me-down. Like, most of the furniture in my apartment is like hand-me-downs from my mom, which, don't get me wrong, I'm very grateful, but it's time. It's time for me to get my own things. Okay, so now this time I'm paying a little bit. Ooh, a purse and a Beanie Baby. Oh, nice. I used to love Beanie Babies. Okay, so we're going to be very careful. So for our cloud cake, okay, so as I was saying, the pound cake, when you mix the pound cake, you add things like the egg yolks one at a time, which is what I did yesterday. And then after the fact, I realized that for this recipe, you're supposed to add all the egg yolks in at once and only mix it for 7 seconds. So today we're actually paying attention to the recipe fully, and we're gonna see how much of a difference it makes. I mean, the cake yesterday was great, but I suspect it's gonna be even greater because I actually followed all the steps. So we're gonna lower the neck of our mixer down again. And now we're gonna do this at medium speed for 7 seconds. So let's count together. All right, so 3, 2, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, 7 seconds exactly. It insisted. Okay, because I do know that a big part of it is that you don't wanna lose the air. Okay. So it looks very yolky in there. It's okay. We're going to trust the process. Trust the process. Okay, so we take our balloon whisk out. And I like, especially things with egg on it, I like to rinse it just so that you don't get like crusty egg yolk on your dishes, because we like to clean up as we go. Okay, so now we're gonna go back to our recipe. Okay, lower mixer, 7 second rule. Whip for exactly 7 seconds. No more, no less. And stop immediately. This keeps the batter light and fluffy. I did not do that yesterday. So let's see how much of a difference it makes. So now we have our dry ingredients, which is our sugar, the rest of our sugar, and our cake flour that's been sifted 3 times already. So I did that off camera. And now we're gonna fold in our dry mixture in 3 parts. Some small dry spots are okay. Oh, good to know. Don't overmix. Some small dry spots are okay. Remember that. Okay. So our first batch of dry. Okay, and then the idea is around and fold. So around and fold. I'm gonna put my apron on. Okay. So around and fold. Around and fold. Around, around, and fold. And then this recipe specifically says to do it with a balloon whisk instead of a spatula. Oh, thank you. I know, right? It's so cute. I got it from like a Kickstarter years ago. Does it have the artist name on it? I can't find, oh, wait. Quinoa Monster. There. I don't know if you can see it. But right, it's so cute. I love it. Okay, so around and fold. Around and fold. So around and fold. Around and fold. Some dry spots are okay, no over mixing. Some dry spots are okay, no over mixing. Around and fold. Around and fold. Around and fold. Around and fold. Some dry spots are okay. Don't overmix. Some dry spots are okay. It's the ADHD. It's the neurospicy. You got to keep repeating it. Some dry spots are okay. No overmixing. Around and fold. Around and fold. Around and fold. Around and fold. And we want to make sure we're scraping the sides and the bottom. See, I keep seeing egg yolk mix in, so I feel like I have to keep mixing, but I don't want to over mix. I'm making a cloud cake today. I made one yesterday, and I had leftover frosting, and it's a cake recipe that I'm still learning. So I decided, I figured, why not make it again, so that we can practice. So we're practicing today. Okay, so I think this feels good. Don't want to over mix. Okay, so now we take our scale. Okay, we have our scale, and I know, because I wrote it down, that my bento bowl is 638.2. So we're gonna weigh the bowl and the batter, and we're gonna figure out how much is supposed to go into each pan. So we have 69.3 minus 638.2 equals, divided by 2. 315 is our target. So now we have our 2 prepared pans. And since, oh, I made cookies last night. Ooh, what kind of cookies did you make? I love cookies. I love cookies. Cookie Monster. Me and a good friend of mine, we're both like Cookie Monster. So, because we're making a cloud cake today, we basically just line the bottom of our pan with parchment paper, and that's it. Because we want the cake to climb the sides of the pan. And so we leave it with no grease for this recipe. So now we get our scale even, and we need 315 grams of batter. First, we're going to clean our spatula. We need a clean spatula. We want clean tools. Okay, so now we take our batter and we get 135. It's very fluffy, like visually you can see that it's a very light batter. Like it's visually satisfying. You can see some of the air pockets even as you bring your batter out of the bowl. So we're at 302, 313, 317, 316, nope, 315, beautiful. That's our target. So now we're gonna set this aside. Give it a little shake and then we'll even this out just a tad. But this definitely feels way fluffier than yesterday's batter. So that already is a difference. Yeah, this one's really, I think this one's gonna give me an even fluffier cake. It almost reminds me, like I haven't seen them in person, but I've seen online like the Japanese souffle pancakes. It kind of gives me that vibe. Oh shit, see, I almost forgot a crucial part. I did this last time. We almost forgot something. So now, see, ADHD. This is why I have to practice this recipe because I keep forgetting this one crucial part, which is adding warm milk at the end. So we're gonna put this back in our bowl. Dang it. But it's okay, that's why it's practice. So we've gotta put this back in our bowl. Dang it, at least I caught it now. I caught it now, it's okay. Better to catch it now than to not catch it at all. It's the neuro spicy, it's the ADHD, man. I need to add an extra. Boyfriend has a neuro spicy baddie. Okay, so I almost forgot a crucial part, which is our milk and our vanilla bean. We can't have a vanilla bean cake without vanilla bean. Hello? Hello, McFly? Hello? So we're gonna put our vanilla bean into our milk and we're gonna heat up our milk very quickly in the microwave. See, I'm glad you guys caught it. You caught that. You saw that, right? You caught it. Thanks. Thanks for helping a girl out. So let's clean this pan a little bit. Wipe some of this. Okay. It's okay. See, at least it's not for a client. I'm not on a time schedule. And all this is today is just learning, trying to learn the recipe. So now we've warmed up our milk. Let me make sure it's not too hot. So we need milk warmed to 122. We're a little bit hotter than that, so I'm going to pop this in the freezer really quick. And let's triple check our oven temperature, which is actually a little too hot, so let's bring that down. See, it's okay. It's all working out for us. And it goes quick, like it goes, the milk goes hot really quick and it goes cold really quick in the freezer. So we're just gonna give it a couple of, like not even a minute. And we'll check that again. Let's check this again. 147. Wrap this. because that's another thing. Your milk can be too cold and too hot. It's very Goldilocks. Baking is very Goldilocks. Goldilocks was just a little girl that was going to grow up to be a baker. That's all she was. A Goldilocks bakery would be cute, actually. Okay, let's check our temperature again. 141. We're coming down. It's okay. Our oven needs to come down anyways. Okay, let's check. $131. See, look, it's quick. A few more seconds and we're ready to go. All right, so now we take our milk. She needs some milk. And we add it to the edge of our bowl. And we fold this in also. We gotta make sure we get all that yummy vanilla in there. So now we do one more fold. One more fold with our balloon whisk. So around and in, around and in, around and in. And you can see all that vanilla bean goodness mixing now into our cake. Can you imagine the tragedy? Vanilla bean cake with no vanilla bean. Hello? Hi! Okay, so now let's do that again. But see, that was you guys. It was all you. You caught it. Thank you. You saved the cake. You were the savior. Okay. So now we're going to do this again. And if we added just a tiny bit of milk, let's make 136 our new target. Okay, let's do this again. 136 is our target. Wait, 135, and I just kept going. Oh my God. 262. No, 315. So 262. Okay, 262. 262. Okay. 327. 327. 327. 266. $340, $340, $327. So let's take a tiny bit. $330. $333. $334. $334. Did you see that? Wait, hold on. You don't even see it. Okay, it's just slightly off, but still, that is like great. 333.4. Okay, I'll take that. 331. The bubbles are popping. That's okay. The bubbles popping change the weight. But you know what? I'll take it. It was the same for half a second. Okay, so now we have our two cakes, our two beautiful cakes. And let's take a look at our recipe again so that the ADHD doesn't get the worst of us. So thankfully we added our warm milk and our vanilla. And now, smooth tops gently with an offset spatula. Okay, this one's pretty smooth. Okay. Bake 26 to 28 minutes, rotating halfway. But I actually don't think halfway is when we want to rotate because these are very sensitive. So, and last time I pulled them out a tiny bit too early. Where am I from? Hi, I am from California. Where are you from? Okay, wait, ADHD, I can't forget. So, we need to put our timer on. And I want to rotate, so if we're doing 29 minutes, but we don't want to rotate halfway through. That's still too early. We don't want to mess with the cakes at that point. I think what we want to do is at the 20-minute mark, maybe even the 25-minute mark is when they get rotated, because at that point they're relatively set and they're not going to fall. But you don't want to jiggle them or mess with them too early, because then all that beautiful climbing that the cake is doing is going to just fall. Okay, so now we're at the point that the cake needs to be in the oven and do its thing. I need to clean up because I've made a mess. I'm gonna come back either later today. Yeah, I'll probably come back later today. What time is it there? Oh, it is 12:30 in the middle of the day. So just a little bit past noon. Okay, so hi, I'm MeMeCherry. I like to go live, and sometimes I bake, sometimes I rhinestone projects. I have a podcast. I just recorded a podcast episode with my trainer yesterday. Actually, that's what I need to do today too, is edit the podcast and get it posted. It was really fun. We had a blast. I love that little girl. She's just so much fun. We talked about dating. We talked about, just relationships between men and women and queer relationships and non-monogamy, because she's non-monogamous. So yeah, it was really fun. So I will be back later to decorate the cake. So next, what happens next? So the cake is gonna finish baking. Then it's gonna come out of the oven. It's gonna cool inverted on a cooling rack with parchment paper under it with sugar. And in theory, the sugar will absorb all the moisture that's coming off of the cake. And then after they've sat outside of the oven for about an hour to fully set, then they need to come out of their pans and go into the fridge to cool for a little while and to fully set the crumb. And then once the crumb is set, then I can pull everything out. Our machines are the same. Oh, nice. Thank you. Cool. You have good taste. So later on today, I'll come back and decorate the cake with you all. So it'll be putting the Greek frosting on and putting the strawberries on and making it nice and pretty. So yeah, feel free to hit subscribe. It's one of the free things that we have in this economy. I like to just be a little spot of light and joy. So if you like that, feel free to come and hang out with me. Lately, I've been going live almost every day. And I'm trying to do different things. Sometimes I go live when I work out, so it's just kind of like a POV of hanging out with me. I was thinking maybe this week, because I work from home, maybe I would just go live while I was working and just do like a POV of like a, remote worker. So yeah, anyways, all the things that are in my mind. Oh, actually, and I just pitched my first short horror film. actually 2 of them. So I'm also writing my first 2 short horror films. So that's very exciting. MeMeCherry Productions is in full effect. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be happening. The development process, I'll probably share it on here. And I'm aiming to shoot content at the end of this year and the beginning of next year to put these out in the spring and in the fall of next year. But I'm very, very excited. Many ideas, lots of creativity happening over here. So thanks for hanging out with me. I hope you have a beautiful day. I hope to see you again. And if I don't see you again, I hope you have a great life. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll see you soon. Bye.